Welcome to episode 142 of the All the Book Show, recorded at the David A. Howe Public Library, where we talk book news, author news, and literary news sometimes.
Yeah, we do. And today I've got a little. So
there we go.
Yeah.
I'm Eric Mickles.
And I'm Nick Gunning.
It
Hi,
sounded
everybody.
like I was going, oh, but really I was just leading into my name. Like
Yeah, it was like
wrestler.
Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not like Yogi Bear, like a wrestler announcer.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
wrestling's way cooler than Yogi Bear.
I don't know.
I wasn't sure.
Ronda Rousey didn't go join the 100 Acre Woods.
Yeah, I
no,
guess
wait, where's Yogi
100
Bear
Acre
live?
Woods,
Jellystone
Park.
Sorry.
Man, I wish you could hear yourself.
All right.
Well, today,
Did you say you were Nick Gunning?
I sure did.
You liar.
But I still am Nick Gunning,
Okay.
if anybody's curious. Today, we're going to be talking about books that we're glad we read, but we didn't like these books.
Yeah.
We didn't like them.
Hated him.
Didn't like them. Well, I didn't hate mine, but
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hate mine either.
Oh, good. Good news. What have you been reading? Anything
What have I
fun?
been reading? We just
you know what?
We just jumped right into book news.
Well, no, and you know what? We had a listener response. Our old pal Greg, he's ground floor. All the books wants to know why we haven't talked about Avengers Infinity War.
Oh, because
yet.
you hadn't seen it.
I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
But now I have. So let's
Yeah.
do a little mini review of Avengers Infinity War.
Okay.
Full of spoilers. Just kidding.
Just kidding. We won't do spoilers.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't sure that they could pull off weaving together all of those different stories, but
Yeah.
I thought that they did.
Yeah.
I heard something interesting where when they were writing it,
Mm-hmm.
they treated Thanos as the primary character
Right.
and let the
Awful
others,
Man be like the supporting character.
yeah, but let the others sort of get their screen time by how they interacted with Thanos. And I thought that was a really
Right.
clever way of like weaving all those stories together by
Yeah.
having him be the focal point.
Which is why Team Earth was kind of the boring team.
True. Yeah.
So,
But I was impressed that they were able to do that.
yeah.
So
Thanos is my primary character in my heart.
in your heart.
Yes.
In your heart.
Yeah. I
Okay.
love Thanos in the comics.
Yeah, he's a little different in this, isn't he?
Yeah, his motivations are different.
Yeah.
In the movie, he wants to get rid of half the universe for balancing purposes because there's not enough food and resources and yada
Yeah.
yada. In the
Right.
comics, he's just in love with death.
Right.
He wants
Loves
to
death.
he wants to give death kisses.
Yep.
He wants to take death on a ride in his fast car
Yep.
and show her the world. And so that changes the character a little bit.
It does.
But I still liked him.
Yep.
He's not. I've kind of accepted recently using my Marvel Unlimited app
Okay.
to read so many comic books. But
All
also
right.
in the past, I've kind of connected it with the Spider-Man movies and Spider-Man comics, and that no matter how good the superhero movies are,
Okay.
and usually I love them, and they're like some of my favorite movies ever, they're still never going to be the comic books. Like
Okay.
the comic books are always going to be better
Right.
in ways just because they've had more time, they're more colorful, they take more chances
Yeah.
and stuff. So, and you can do something silly where you have death personified as a
that-
pretty lady.
I guess that works a little better.
Um,
Not on screen.
but yeah, so I've just been thinking about that. But yeah, I had a great time at Avengers Infinity War. A little bit of a part one,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like I feel like it's kind of a part one in the same way that I don't know.
Well, it had.
I'm trying to
it
think
had
of
at least it had a little bit of resolution. I thought.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like you definitely want the second one, but I don't feel like you feel cheated necessarily.
Yeah. It's a full experience.
I'm trying to think of them because there's been movies that have come out and like, oh, this is just part
Yeah.
one. I guess I keep going back to Harry Potter.
Oh, sure.
Part
or
one
or
of seven.
Mockingjay.
Yeah,
Mockingjay
yeah.
Part
The YA
one is ridiculous.
The YA splitting
It's
two books
barely
into
a
one.
movie.
That was rough.
Yeah.
And you always felt like this is because, like, in those instances, you know they're just wasting time to get to the second movie, and I don't think time was wasted.
No.
In this Avengers.
No.
So
I agree.
I actually don't know how they're going to like up the game in a lot of ways for the next one. Mm-hmm. So
It's gonna be tough.
yeah,
Overall, thumbs up. I thought.
yeah. I think there's a scene in
The Guardians came across the best. It was a strong movie for the Guardians.
There's a scene in the comics where Thanos has his Infinity Gauntlet and he's telling the universe to come and get him. Mm-hmm. And I wanted that scene.
I see.
But I guess you're not going to do that scene in the movie
Right.
with Josh Brolin. Like,
Right.
come and get me. I
Yeah.
can't do a Josh Brolin impression.
Yeah. Well,
Thanos can do one.
Why
though.
try?
Every now and then Thanos was doing a Josh Brolin impression.
My favorite Josh Brolin movie?
Huh?
Can you guess?
Oh, no.
The Goonies.
Oh, okay.
Did you think I was going to say Jonah Hex? Because
I don't know what you were going to say.
We don't talk about Jonah
Jonah
Hex.
Hex. And he's going to be in Deadpool 2.
And Deadpool
he's
2.
Playing Cable.
Yeah.
He's
a comic book man.
I guess. I wonder what it is about Josh
don't know.
Brolin. Maybe he's kind of like the nothing man.
I guess.
But he's good.
Yeah.
He's good at what he does, right?
Yeah, he does.
What he does isn't very nice.
Oh.
That's
nice. It is.
Yeah.
Well, we have all of
He
the
looks
lead
the
up.
part of an old man Logan.
He does.
Anyway.
We've got all the lead up to Avengers Infinity War here in the collection. We've got the movies. We got the Infinity War. What's it called in the
Infinity Gauntlet.
Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got that. We got a great assortment of Avengers stuff. So you can come in and load up and
Books,
hopefully see the movie.
Movies. Games.
We'll eventually show this movie in the auditorium, right?
Maybe it's long. It's
Oh,
2.5
that's true.
hours.
It is
Usually we try to keep it at least like
Yeah.
under 2 hours.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not always super easy. But yeah, that was 2.5 hours, but I wasn't bored.
No, I wasn't either.
And I get bored easily.
Yeah, you do.
I already forgot what we're talking about.
We're talking about books that we are glad we read but didn't like.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, there was your journal that I read that one time.
Oh, well, that was private.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
That was not.
I
Meant
didn't
to
like
be-
it.
Oh,
But I'm glad I read it. I learned a lot about you.
I suppose you would.
Yeah, a lot about your fears.
I'll never know how you jimmied that little heart-shaped lock I have on it, but
Yeah, well, I just had to put my fingerprint on it. It was confusing.
Oh.
I don't understand why
Huh.
my fingerprint worked on your heart-shaped lock.
yeah, especially since it's not fingerprint activated. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Huh. Are you sure you're not a fluffy dog?
The classic. Is that Disney, Fluffy Dogs? That's old school.
It might be Disney.
Google Fluffy Dogs, everyone. Let's see. Let's do bookmark. Here are some of the things that I have been reading. I read 2 things that I was excited about that disappointed me.
Why are you talking like this?
What?
Nothing. You're like, I read 2. I can't do it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Play the tape back and you'll understand what
sure.
I'm talking about.
We'll replay that. I read Last Shot.
yeah.
the
You
new-
sounded like you were announcing a
Lando.
racehorse.
Okay.
A horse race, not a racehorse.
Sure.
Maybe both.
Yeah.
Go on. Okay.
I read the new Han and Lando Star Wars book that came out, Last Shot.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and I was excited about that because those are characters I liked. I loved the A.C. Crispin Han Solo trilogy.
Uh-huh.
I liked the Brian Daley Han Solo
Sure.
saga. And
Yeah.
I liked the Lando series.
Go
This
on.
book, it just didn't do it for me.
Sorry, man.
Just didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Is there a lot of Han, old buddy?
There is. There is.
Ugh.
It also
You can
is.
overdo that.
Some of it is like after Han and Leia have a baby. Some of it is 10 years ago for Han. Some of it is 15 years ago for Lando. And they all kind of intersect, but it's just the quest that they're on is not particularly interesting. And
Yeah.
spreading it out over these like 3 or 4 different timelines dulled any impact that it might have had. It just did nothing. And I found it very confusing.
Right.
So I'm disappointed because I was really looking forward to that. But I guess
sorry.
this is the month to be disappointed by Han Solo stories. So
Oh, snap.
with
Throwing a
apologies
little
to
shade
Ron Howard.
at the Han Solo movie. Comes out this Memorial Day.
Speaking of Ron
weekend.
Howard, I just watched Backdraft, and that wasn't good either. So
Yeah, this is
I
a
don't
bad
know.
Ron Howard month for you.
I don't know. Then
Wait, are you watching all these Ron Howard movies in preparation for Han
No.
Solo?
no, just because I like Ron Howard.
All right, have you got to Rush yet?
No, I
guess
haven't-
you're a
I haven't
backdraft.
seen
You got a
Rush.
whole bunch of different
I
stuff.
do. I have a few more to go.
You have to see
Yeah.
Rush and In the Heart of the Sea.
Cinderella Man. I'm not looking forward to that. You want to
Oh,
watch
yeah.
Cinderella Man together? It's a boxing movie.
Oh, you got to watch Beautiful Mind.
I love Beautiful Mind though.
Ugh.
That and Apollo 13. Great. You don't like A Beautiful Mind?
It's fine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What else did I read? Volume 3 of the Back to the Future ongoing series, Who is Marty McFly?
And
As you recall, I
Michael J. Fox.
loved the
Eric
second
Stoltz.
one. I loved the second one.
you love them all.
No, I don't, because I didn't like this one.
Oh,
It was just a
no.
dull story. Whereas number 2, Continuum
Right.
Conundrum,
Uh-huh.
I loved.
Yeah.
Top marks.
Yeah.
This was pretty bad.
I'm sorry.
I'm currently reading Architects of Infinity, which is a Star Trek Voyager book, and it is the most recent one out. I'll be up to date when I finish this one. I don't know what to do with
You'll be
myself.
up to date with Star Trek Voyager.
Star Trek Voyager. This
Okay.
one just came out, I think, in
Yeah.
March. So.
Yeah.
And then I'm reading.
How is 1999?
It's great. It's a good time. It's a good time. I'm reading The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. This
Oh, yeah.
is for the book club.
Yeah.
Our first nonfiction book.
My
into
wife
the
just started
book club. Is she enjoying it so far?
I
It
guess.
starts with kind of a story that,
Oh.
like, as a parent, I was kind of like, wow,
Right.
that's-
How's Brie
that's
Larson
rough
in
to
this
hear.
book?
Was she in the movie?
She's in the movie.
Oh,
she plays
okay.
the adult daughter.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. I haven't seen the movie.
It's in the collection.
Well, I plan to after I finish the book.
Brie Larson
so
is
let's
playing
check that
Captain
out.
Marvel.
I read a couple more short stories by David Dvorkin. Really enjoying them. So I have to check that collection out. So I think you would really like these. I know you
Okay.
never listen to me, but
Well,
I
I'm
think
reading
you
a Star
might.
Trek book right now.
I know. Do tell.
Well, I will on my bookmark.
You're on it.
You don't have more Star Trek books?
That's it. No.
Well, what about the short stories?
I just told you I read a couple more and liked them.
Oh, I thought you were going to have more to say about that. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Look, I haven't started this X-Men crossover. Apparently, it's supposed to be really bad, called X-Men Extermination.
Okay.
Where the astonishing X-Men are
Exterminate.
chasing after the Age of Apocalypse version of Nightcrawler, who's going to cause some of the worlds to collide. And I've just been, I don't know, Astonishing X-Men has not been good. Anyway.
I like the Joss Whedon stuff.
Yeah, that was okay.
It was forever ago, too.
Yes, it was. And it was pandering in a lot of ways. I think Joss Whedon likes to pander himself a lot.
Could be.
You know? Anyway, I'm going to start Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds.
Oh, yeah.
So it won the Edgar Award for YA literature. The Edgar Award, which we did an episode of. Was that 2 episodes ago? Edgar Awards
No,
mystery.
that was last week.
That was last week?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Well, I picked up Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds to read. And I'm going to start reading, or I've started how do I say this? Trelisane?
Trelisane.
The Trelisane Confrontation by David Dvorkin.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't remember that one well. I read it so long ago.
Yeah, well, it's Bones and Kirk and Spock, and they're off on a little mission.
This is your first
Star Trek book.
anything. You didn't even read any of the comics, did you?
I read the new stuff.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, you read the Green Lantern stuff, right?
No, I read the thing that you bought like 12 copies of for the library.
13 volumes.
Oh, my word.
Didn't you read the Star Trek Green Lantern crossovers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But this is your first Star Trek novel.
Yes, this is my first Star Trek novel.
Welcome.
Thank you. And I'm also been reading a lot of X Factor. So instead of telling you about
boy.
all the X Factor I read,
Wow.
I will tell you I'm on X Factor Volume 18, Breaking Points by
Ooh.
Peter David.
I like Peter David. Sometimes.
The X Factor, his X Factor run is pretty solid.
I read the first volume of the X Factor. Like the old school.
Yeah, that's not what I'm
the
talking
big-
about. This is 2000. Sorry, that made you sad.
Yeah, it did.
Go on.
So mean.
That was Chris. No, that wasn't Chris Claremont. That was
That's Peter David. I read the old Peter David X Factor.
Oh, with with Havoc.
Yeah.
Not Havoc.
Yeah.
With Havoc.
This
and
is such a
Polaris,
boring conversation.
Multiple
but yes.
Man. Strong guy.
Yep.
Was it good? I haven't gotten to that
Yeah, it
stuff
was
yet.
good.
Okay, this is the 2005 to 2013.
Okay.
So I remember reading a bunch of articles like, can you believe they canceled X Factor? It's like, they let it run for like 8 years. You got 114 issues out of this, you big baby. Gosh, people need to stop crying all the time.
They
about
do.
X Factor comics.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you go.
Mm-hmm. That's it?
Yeah.
All right. It's pretty good. It's a pretty
Thanks,
good
man.
turnout. All right. Well, let's turn over to some book or literary news that I've got for you now. The Women's Prize for Fiction 2018 has gone down to a short list. So we talked a little bit about the long list a while back. The short list is up, and the finals will be announced on June 6th, so we'll have the winner. The Power by Naomi Alderman won last year and was a pretty popular book, and I've only heard good things about it. So here is what's on the short list for the Women's Prize for Fiction. Sight by Jessie Greengrass.
Go on.
Home Fire by Camilla Shamsi.
All right. Is a home fire a fire that's caused by little fires everywhere or
Ooh.
one big fire somewhere?
Interesting. Sing Unburied Sing by Jessamine Ward. That's probably the front runner just because it's won so many other things. The Idiot by Elif Bottoman.
Didn't we just... That sounds familiar, too.
Yeah, that was on something else. The Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock by Imogene Hermes Goer. And When I Hit You, or A Portrait of a Writer as a Young Wife by Mina Kandasamy. So that is the short list. And we'll announce the winners shortly after they are posted on June 6th. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump to our book, New in the Publishing World, right?
Yeah.
All right. Here's what I've got coming down the pike. These are coming out in July.
I thought it was down the pipe.
Either one.
Okay.
Brad Thor returns to his Scott Harvath series with Spy Master, book number 17. Not exactly a title master.
Snap. Take that, Brad Thor.
I
Why
read
don't you go beat up self-publishers some more?
Seriously. I read the first book in this series, Lions of Lucerne.
Uh-huh.
Very underwhelmed. Very unimpressed.
Yeah.
So
What do you know? He has a publisher.
17 books ago, so
Ooh,
it's possible
jeez.
that the series has improved since then.
Yeah.
Across Europe, a secret organization has begun attacking diplomats. Back in the United States, a foreign ally demands the identity of a highly placed covert asset. In the balance hang the ingredients
Is
for
it a
an
snake?
all-out war.
Oh.
With his mentor out of the game, counterterrorism operative Scott Harvath must take on the role he has spent his career avoiding. But, as with everything else he does, he intends to rewrite the rules, all of them.
Nice.
That was what the first one was about.
He was
They were
rewriting
like,
the rules in the
yeah,
first
they
one?
were like, Scott, we don't need you to investigate this. We've got this under control. We're doing our due diligence. Everything's fine. And he's like, okay, I'm going to investigate this on my own. I'm a Superman.
Right.
It wasn't good.
Oh. But he's had 17 books to refine his process.
You think I don't know that?
Yeah.
I'm the one who told you that, for heaven's sakes. All right. Also, we have The Other Woman by Daniel Silva. This is book 18 in the Gabriel Allen series. His Black Widow, which came out, I think, last year, was on the bestseller list forever.
Yeah.
So fans of this series look no further than July for the next one. Huffington Post says, a tense, thrilling adventure. With Silva's novels, you find yourself being educated as well as being entertained. Silva is that rarity of rarities, a writer whose stories just keep getting better. Number one New York Times bestseller here, Mr. Daniel Silva. And from Danielle Steele, because it's been a few weeks since
That's
the last
true,
one.
yeah.
Against the electrifying
Oh, it's
backdrop
Tuesday. Better throw a book to the masses.
of the 1960s, Danielle Steele unveils the gripping chronicle of a young woman discovering a passion for justice and the unsung hero she encounters on her quest to fight the good fight. This is Danielle Steele's The Good Fight.
Yeah.
Coming soon to the Hallmark station near you. Just kidding.
I'm going to
Coming
write
out
a
in
book about
hardcover
somebody
in
trying
July.
to overcome something.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the bad fight. Like,
Oh, that makes sense.
the fight that's queasy to watch.
Sure.
It's like,
The last one here is coming out in new to large print. So we have some others in this series. This is the Wayward Pines trilogy, I want to say. We have
is it just a trilogy?
I don't know.
The show's done?
I think so.
Two seasons?
Kind of confusing.
Okay.
Yeah. I watched the first season and it was fine.
Right.
Second season, I never saw.
That's the
But
twist.
I've not heard anything good about it.
Okay.
But the books tend to be pretty popular. So this is book 3 in the Wayward Pines trilogy called The Last Town.
Okay.
I don't think I should read much about it because I think it'll just give it
Well,
away.
there's only so
but-
much more land. It's the only thing we're not making anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, so the basic premise of this series is from Superman. Superman Returns. Yeah.
Did he have a land deal in Batman v Superman?
No,
Was
I
it
don't
still
think
about
so.
land?
I
Are
don't
you
think so.
sure?
No, I'm not sure because I hate that movie.
I feel like he was still looking to just have more land.
Wayward Pines is
Okay.
about a sheriff who just kind of wakes up in a
Uh-oh.
town.
Yeah.
Doesn't know how he got there. Doesn't know how to escape.
Played by Matt Dillon.
Played by Matt Dillon in the show. Yeah. So anyway, this is book 3 coming to you in large print. So we'll have this here in the collection. That's it for me. How are things on the New York Times bestseller
Matt
list?
Dillon has a interesting voice, but a dumb face.
Huh.
How do you feel about that?
Interesting.
Okay. That's a hot take right there.
It is. Yeah.
You want to know how the New York Times bestsellers list looks?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Well, it looks great.
Oh, good.
It's finally got its life back
Really
on track.
taking care of itself.
Yeah. I think it's been walking in the mornings.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I got a cat, if you can believe it.
Yeah.
Never thought New York Times bestsellers list could take care of another living creature, but
No, I didn't.
there they go.
There it goes.
So
Yeah.
I probably used to say she couldn't take care of a cactus.
Yeah.
Now New York Times has her own apartment.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Oh, God, I miss her.
Stupid.
All right. Sorry, that really cracked me up.
Yeah.
New York Times bestsellers list for the young adult hardcover fiction. Number 10, I Have Lost My Way by Gail Foreman.
Oh, hey. I'll help you.
Thanks, man. An accident brings 3 strangers together and their secrets unravel. Yep. Oh, I spilled this bucket of wine. What an accident.
Pretty funny.
I killed my father.
Whoa.
Well, that secret really
That
unraveled.
was a twist.
Yeah. Number 9, The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. Alice must go to her deceased grandmother's estate to rescue her mother.
She should do that, yeah.
Number 8, Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. On his way to exact revenge for his brother's death, Will takes a life-changing elevator ride.
Look out.
Come with me, and you'll see. Listen, that's inappropriate because this is like a very serious topic. It's about gun violence and all this other
yes.
stuff. So you shouldn't be singing.
So your Willy Wonka joke was a little out of place, what you're saying.
I can't remember the song he sings at the end with the glass elevator.
There's no song.
They don't sing a song about a glass elevator?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
It's a flippin' glass elevator.
Oh, I know what it is.
Why it's flying, right?
There's a whole sequel book. Have you read much Roald Dahl?
Yeah, I've read a few.
Have you read Charlie and
I
Chocolate
haven't read
Factory?
the glass elevator.
Have you read?
Yeah.
You read the first. I've read no Roald Dahl.
Oh.
Isn't that weird?
The Witches, James and the Giant Peach,
No,
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, I've read
I
those.
have not read those.
Um,
Are you a fan?
Yeah, I love the Witches.
Do you like his stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is it spooky?
Sometimes,
Okay.
I suppose.
Hot take. Right there.
Sometimes, I suppose. Wow, why wouldn't you just be singing like, look at this, it's a glass elevator and it flies.
Yeah,
Look down, it's glass.
I love it.
All right.
It's a great song.
Sky in the Deep by Adrian Young. Oh, Be the Ocean. Be the Ocean. After witnessing her brother die in battle, Elin seeks to avenge him, only to find out that he has joined the enemy. So her brother hasn't died. He's enlisted with the bad guys of this fantasy world called Sky in the Deep. Number 6, The Fates Divide. Veronica Roth. Kyra and Akos fight Lasmat.
Oh,
the
boy.
tyrant who is thought to be dead.
Lasmat's back again.
Yeah, so this has
Better
been here
than ever.
for 3 weeks. This is it, right? This is book 2 of 2, is what we
Yeah,
realized.
that's what they're saying now.
Yes. So, number 5, Ash Princess by Lara Sebastian. A disgraced princess schemes to overthrow the Kaiser and take back her throne.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Look out, Kaiser.
yeah, he's the king of Soot.
Is
And
he?
she's the no. Wait.
Oh,
she's
okay.
the Ash Princess. He's the
I don't
king
know.
of Soot.
How am I supposed to know?
They're gonna battle over which leaves more of a stain on your white collared shirt.
Hmm.
Probably the Soot.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4, Turtles All the Way Down. 29 weeks. Turtles All the Way Down is going nowhere.
No.
John Green is in. He's not even gonna put this in paperback.
Probably not. But,
So-
you know, that's
on.
kind of how the YA list works. I mean, I'm sure that one will be there for extra long because it's him, but it rarely changes.
Number 3, Children of Blood and Bone. Number 2, by Tomi Adama. Oh no, Ademi. You know, I was the one who went back to that last name. I didn't have to
Yeah,
read
you
it.
did. No, you didn't.
Number 2, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. The movie comes out this year
Does it?
or next year.
Oh,
The movie's
cool.
on its way out.
Nice.
Yes. And number 1, new this week. So we had like 4 new books this week,
Yeah.
Nick. I guess you feel pretty stupid.
Yeah, I guess I do.
So number 1. Also, how bad is that? The Veronica Roth book, after only 3 weeks, is down at 6. That's Veronica Roth.
Yeah. Nobody likes that series.
Yeah. Leah on the Offbeat by Becky L. Bertali. Leah faces challenges when her tight-knit group of friends starts to fracture. That's relatable
Yeah.
to everybody.
A tightly group of
Yeah.
friends.
Nick and
fracture.
I have had a schism quite like Marvel's Civil War.
Yeah, we only speak on Mike.
Yes. that's
Outside of
true.
that.
Yeah. As soon as I hit stop on the record button, we punch each other in the face and walk away.
Yeah, Eric quietly walks out of my office.
Yep.
and-
It's bad news. Anyways, good luck, Leah. I hope you can deal with this thing.
Me too.
This your friends fracturing.
That would be good.
Yes. Definitely choose the side that is
Are we
anti
still on the young
superhero
adult list?
registration.
Because, whew.
Here's number 10 on the adult hardcover list.
Hey, now we're back in business.
The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna.
Yeah. Still there.
Yeah, well, it's tied with number 9, The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn.
Hanging
oh,
on.
Look at all this variety from last week.
Yeah.
What is this, the young adult list?
Look, I don't know why you have to do this.
All right, The Woman in the Window.
Oh, okay.
Nick gives it 2 thumbs up, or
Yeah.
he would, but he lost a thumb.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Sorry. I was trying to come up with a reason, but all I could come up with is Nom.
That's all right.
I was like, he lost a thumb in Nom.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You're too young.
You're right.
So
But I'm an old soul.
that's true.
Whatever that means.
Number 8, After Anna, Lisa Scottoline. A woman marries a widower and reunites with her
right.
teenage daughter,
Yeah.
who is murdered soon
Look out.
after, and the
Yeah.
husband's put on trial for it.
That does not go the way you expect it to when you start that.
Yeah. Number 7, The Female Persuasion by Meg Wolitzer.
Read it.
Yeah?
Yep.
Would you say you weren't going to read it, but then you were slightly persuaded to? Yes.
Yeah.
Number 6, Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate.
Okay.
Number 5, I've Got My Eyes on You by Mary Higgins Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know she actually solves murders?
Mary Higgins Clark?
Yes.
With
instead
Ms.
of
Marple
causing
style.
them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. I made most of that up.
Yeah.
Number 4, Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. Number 3. Ooh, new this week.
Hey, I'm excited.
What is this? The Hellfire Club from the X-Men?
Sebastian Shaw?
Jack Taper. Charlie Martyr, a World War II veteran and unlikely congressman, gets entangled in a dangerous series of events in 1950s DC. DC Comics? Oh, no. Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay. It's different.
Dang it.
Yeah, I
Look,
was close there.
You call something the Hellfire Club, it better be a elite group of, like, mutants hiding out in some kind of Friars Club situation.
Oh, Jake Tapper.
Yeah.
Okay. Like from CNN.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't
Okay.
watch CNN. Is
right.
he from that?
Yeah, he is.
What's he do?
He's the chief Washington correspondent and the New York Times best-selling author of The Outpost.
Okay. Number 2, The Fallen by David Baldacci. Amos Decker, known as the Memory Man, puts his talents towards solving a string of murders in a Rust Belt town. Wait a second, where did I put my keys? Now I remember, I've solved the murder.
Memory Man strikes again.
Number 1, new this week.
I shall erase your murder because I am Lazmat.
Try again.
No. Your memory's erased. You don't remember who I am.
Hey, Goose is here.
Erased.
Oh, wait, where am I?
Erased.
Weren't we going to have 3 books?
Erased.
Number 1, Twisted Prey by John Sanford. John Sanford isn't the one you read. You don't like the Prey books.
I don't.
Book
no.
Club has read the Prey books.
Book Club, yes. Most of the book clubbers do like the John Sanford
Okay.
catalog.
Well, how many? This is the 28th book in the Prey series.
Yeah.
So Prey, there are no more.
Oh, yeah, and it has a
Nice.
spin-off, too. The Virgil Flowers series. It's
Really?
the main character from that is a minor character in Virgil Flowers books.
All right. A
I
federal.
like those better.
The Virgil Flowers one?
Yeah.
Those aren't Westerns.
No, they're not Westerns, but they're...
Missed opportunity.
He's kind of... Missed opportunity?
Yeah.
No,
Have a
he-
character in a Western called Virgil Flowers?
Virgil Flowers, pretty good. Well, he's kind of like an outdoorsy guy.
Okay,
so
that's
it
fine.
still works.
Yeah.
Those aren't about like deranged serial killers like the Prey ones are. So
Okay. A federal marshal looks into the actions of a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee, if you can believe it.
I can. Yeah.
So-
Let's call Jake Tapper. Maybe he can help.
Kenny? Does he solve murders?
Maybe.
Him and Mary Higgins Clark. They're
team
on.
up
They're on
together.
retainer
Yep.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's the New York Times bestsellers list.
It wasn't that exciting.
Wow.
We had a couple of newbies in there.
John
but-
Sanford.
Yeah. And his son.
No.
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
What?
Is that too dated?
I don't get that.
Oh, it's from Sanford and Son, the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I did not get that at all.
Too far away. Okay.
That's
all right.
Sorry.
I'm
I never
keeping-
watched Sanford
I'm
and
keeping a
Sons.
tally.
What was that on? Well, I mean,
I watched it on Nick at Night.
yeah, I
but-
didn't see it on Nick at Night.
Yeah.
I always forget you're so much older than I am.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Significantly.
You're a young guy.
Significantly older. All right. Well, we're going to talk about things that we... Did you like that? You gave me a fun look. We're going to talk about books that we read.
Uh-huh.
Glad we read them.
Yeah.
Didn't particularly care for the book.
No.
Wasn't an enjoyable
Boo.
experience,
Yeah.
I guess you'd say.
Yeah, let me know when it starts
Why
over.
don't you take it away?
You would make me start just
Give
as
me
I'm getting
one.
my Goodreads going. Fine.
want-
Everything is Illuminated
Okay.
by John Sanford. No.
John
not
Sanford.
not John Sanford.
And Son?
I was looking stuff
I'm coming,
up.
Elizabeth.
I don't. Everything is Illuminated.
Okay.
Is by. Oh, that's a movie with Elijah Wood. I haven't seen it.
Terrible.
Have you seen the movie?
No.
Oh. Do you not like Elijah Wood?
No, I just meant your delays here.
He is. It was a movie with John. Anyway.
Jonathan Safran 4.
Yeah, I had that, but we were talking about the movie for a second.
Okay.
I've never seen the movie.
No.
Okay.
I have seen the movie for Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, based on his other book.
How was that?
It was pretty good.
Oh.
Tom Hanks.
You do love your Tom Hanks.
Yeah, everybody loves Tom Hanks. That's
Even Meg Ryan today?
yeah.
Really?
They just worked together recently
Did they?
in that movie Ithaca that she directed.
No kidding.
Not great, but they're still good together.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
good.
everything is illuminated.
Yes. I had to read it in school.
I don't know anything about the book.
Oh boy, it's good. It's about a lot of things. A lot of things are happening in it, so it's hard to, say like what it's about. But really, it's about a boy traveling with his grandfather. They're not traveling. They're a tour group, and somebody's looking for his ancestry. I think is how it went down.
Okay.
This was in college, and anyway, they're learning about themselves.
Okay.
It tells a bunch of different stories, and I didn't really understand how everybody connected.
Okay.
In the book as I was reading it, I couldn't tell who was whose relative, but a lot of it was gross.
Gross.
Yeah, a lot of it was gross. A lot of it was just like
In what way?
sexually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of it was just kind of like upsetting and ridiculous, but not in a way that I found entertaining. I guess because I found it upsetting. But so yeah, I didn't like it. Like the whole time I'm reading, I'm like, this is bad, right?
Okay.
But the ending really got me. The grandfather makes a choice. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's reading it. And it really, and it kind of has a weird writing style, a lot of free-flowing writing, and it kind of left an impression on me about the concept of love, and taking care of family and things like that.
Okay.
So yes, for the most part, I was just like, I don't like this. And at the end, I'm like, oh, that made me feel weird. So I'm glad I've read it.
Why?
Why am I glad I read it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It made me feel weird. Made me feel like very melancholy and sad and hopeful in a way that other books hadn't.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. I would
Would you read any more of that author's work?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't like his writing style.
Okay.
No, this was definitely like, if I hadn't had to read it, I wouldn't have.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be one I recommend, but I bet other people would like it a lot more than me.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I took away any lessons, but I feel like I've always like thought back to the ending and other stuff, and I'm like,
okay.
I feel weird.
Well, for mine, I mean, with few exceptions, I feel like this about this author's books, that like I'm impressed by it. I'm glad to have read it.
Right.
But it was difficult, and that would be our pal Joyce Carol Oates.
Joyce Carol Oates, yeah.
And so the one I've chosen to highlight here is Mud Woman, which I think is actually the first of her adult fiction that I read. Because I'd read her YA stuff when I was younger. But Mud Woman was the first adult book that I read. And that is about, if you recall, a college president who's going to do a speech that is nearby where her biological parents came from. And she doesn't really know much about her past.
Right.
But the closer she gets to this area, the more these like repressed memories start to come out. And they just slowly and very realistically drive her mad. And you just spend the rest of the book trying to figure out if what you're reading is true, if it actually happens, or if it's just her interpreting situations, trying to make sense of what she's feeling, because she's the narrator. So you don't know. You never know. There's a really pivotal event that happens in the book. And to this day, I don't know if that actually happened or if it's just like her working out her demons. So the book is, when you look at the reviews, it's pretty mixed. It's either you hate the book or you appreciate it for what it does, and how expertly it does it, because it's similar to Jack of Spades for me, where it was so realistic the way the character just comes undone that it just kind of creeps into the way you're feeling, and is very unsettling because it's done so well.
Do you know I'm Jack of Spades?
Whoa,
Yeah.
twist. You love Jack of Spades.
Yeah.
But you didn't find it creepy.
No, I did, but
you
in
did?
like the right
Okay.
ways.
Yes.
I wasn't creeped out. I guess I found it creepy. I was like, yeah. He's making a lot of sense.
Well, Mud Woman is one that I would maybe recommend for the experience. Not because I think you're going to be like, the end. What a delightful read. But because it's very well crafted and totally succeeds at what it's trying to do. But what it's trying to do is a little ugly. So you have to kind of get that. But I think that she layers that really well throughout the book, that you're understanding the journey as you go. So even though it's off-putting and a little upsetting, you kind of appreciate the journey that the character is taking. And I do think that applies for a lot of the books of hers that I've read. I think you can say that a little bit for We Were the Mulvaneys, too. Although that one is probably a little bit more...
I remember you guys talking about that.
That's a little more upbeat than most.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, from what you guys told me, that's rough.
Yeah. So, again, that is Mud Woman by Joyce Carol Oates. What else you got?
Let's see. So I'm going to say Game of Thrones. That's the first book.
Oh.
Of the Ice and Fire series or whatever it is.
Okay.
War of Ice and Throne of Ice and Fire. Gosh, I'm gonna get torn apart for that.
Okay.
Song of Ice and Fire. Everybody relax. I'm sorry. Because I read the first book.
What a rookie.
And the whole time I read it, I was miserable. Because it was just like a very depressing book.
Okay.
It taught me that like lots of people are just really bad, gross people.
Okay.
So I didn't like it. But I'm glad I read it because it got me to watch the show.
Okay.
Which I like.
Yeah.
And I think the show improved a lot of the stuff. It's still like season 5 was blah.
Okay.
It was gross. But for the most part, where I didn't like a single character in the book, the show was like, here's how they're nice in a little bit. Look at this guy. He's petting a bird. Yeah, he just killed that whole villagers, all those villagers. Yeah, he just told those orphans they're slaves for the rest of their lives, but he just mended the bird's wings.
Right.
So, it was for sport. He's now shooting the bird. Okay.
Yikes.
But yeah, and
what did you say the first one's called?
the first one's just called Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
it's just called. Okay.
Yeah. But it was 800 pages, or like felt like it. It was just a long book, long, depressing, put me in a dark, foul mood. But if I hadn't read it, I would not have watched the show.
Okay.
I don't know. And now I at least can. It's one of those things like I can say, well, I read the book.
Is there anything about it like I'm not really familiar with anything about Game of Thrones?
That's very true.
So, like, is there anything in the way it's written that makes you feel like, is it well written? Do you
I mean, it's
appreciate
well
the writing?
written, and I'm sure at the time it was also a big deal. It kind of does a lot of. Is this the main character? No, he's dead. It does that a few times. But the first book is basically the whole first season of the show, so that was also kind of nice to sit there and like, oh yeah,
Okay.
Watch my wife's reaction as certain characters bit the dust that I knew were coming. So yeah, I would not ever reread that book again.
Would you pick up book 2?
No.
Okay.
The show has solved that for me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Next for me is one that we did for book club. And it's one that's kind of legendary for this, so I'm not breaking any new ground here by saying The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. So, as I think we've discussed a little bit in the past, if you're not familiar with the story, it deals with the sexual abuse and murder of a child. That's how it starts. And then she narrates the book sort of dead,
right.
looking on as her family
I think my
moves
wife
through
watched
the
The
stages.
Lovely Bones, the movie.
The movie, this is one of the rare cases where I feel like the movie handles everything better than the book. It's a little bit neater. And the book, it just has this, because she's looking from above and because the things she experiences as not really a ghost, but as a character looking at it from a different vantage point, is very hard to describe, and I think the author does that really well, and the movie interprets that visually in a really impressive way. So I would recommend both of them.
Okay.
With the understanding that the first the first couple chapters, the first 30 pages or so, detailing the attack are probably...
Wait, did you say 150 pages?
No, 20 to 30.
Oh,
But
okay.
No. I'm saying by the end of those 20 and 30 pages, you're in what is the bulk of the book, and nothing will be as rough as those first pages.
All right.
It's incredibly difficult to get through. I wouldn't recommend audiobook. But like if you can power through that, the book itself is really a spectacular read. So it's one that, like, again, it's hard to say, like, I loved it, but I really think that it's a well-written, interesting book that deserves the attention that it got. At the time, it was like you couldn't walk into any store without seeing a copy of The Lovely Bones.
That's true.
And the cover, I think, is an iconic.
It was like the
cover
same,
at this
like
point.
Kite Runner and all that.
Yeah.
That was a big weird stage in history.
Right. So it is hard. It's hard to get through that first bit, but maybe knowing that once you do, you don't really revisit that kind of like gritty
brutality.
Yes, exactly. So Lovely Bones
by
Alice Sebold.
Yeah.
Yep. What do you got?
1984 by George Orwell.
How many do you want to do?
This is my third.
Third and final?
Sure.
Okay.
Nice.
1984, you said.
By George Orwell.
I call that 2017.
It's 2018, bro.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, go on.
Man, I didn't like this book. It was fine at the beginning when it
Okay.
was just kind of like, look, the world's dystopian. Doesn't it stink?
Okay.
And then it just became essay after essay after essay of this character like sharing the point of view of freedom and personal freedom and information and all this stuff. And it was just like, shut up. This isn't a story. This is George Orwell's essay that
Right.
he tricked us into reading, and he just couldn't put it into fictional terms.
Right.
It's very frustrating because something like Animal Farm is just great because it's allegory and you find all the messages in the story and in the characters. But in 1984, there is no story once you get through the first third of it. So it just becomes a lecture.
Okay.
And I do not like it, and I will never. I've read Animal Farm a few times, and I'll read it again more times, but I'm never going to pick up 1984 again. Also, it hits a little too close to home.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I read it because it's 1984.
Right.
But also,
how old were you when you read it?
this was. Hold on. This was in 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how old were you?
I was 23.
Okay. Did you find it like intellectually challenging? Did it make you think about things that you weren't thinking about? Or
No, I mean, I feel like other stuff I had read had said this stuff before, but that's not the book's fault. It came out first, and
Right.
But it was like, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't give up control. We shouldn't trust everything we're told and all of this. But I'm glad I read it because it's still very like influential. You know, all the Big Brother is watching you. We Are the Dead, and all this. We've always been at war with Eurasia. Those kind of topics.
Okay.
The concepts that are in there are still very strong, but as to sit down and read it from beginning to end is kind of a slog.
Okay.
But the stuff in there is still really good.
Okay.
So the fact that you can be just told and just believe what you're told.
Okay.
So don't trust anyone over 30.
I haven't read it actually. I'm familiar with it, but I haven't.
You haven't read Animal Farm either.
No.
You're afraid of the animals?
I'm afraid. I just don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretty scary stuff.
So
Okay. Well, my final one here is Hiroshima by John Hersey. So this is basically, this is nonfiction. This is a journalist chronicling the aftermath of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima in 1945. So obviously, the subject matter is grisly and upsetting. This book it's short. I mean, it's 150 pages, and again, it's nonfiction. And what makes it so difficult to read, to absorb, is the way everything is just presented so matter-of-factly. You know, he's interviewing people, and they're telling these stories, and there's not a lot of, like, embellishment, or there's nothing that kind of, like, smooths out the narrative. It's just really, the power of the stories just speak for themselves.
right.
And it's handled in such a way that it just... I don't know, it just hits you because it's so, like, the details are so mundane and yet so horrific that, like, the combination of that is just really impactful and really powerful. So if you haven't read it, it is not a feel-good book. But it does...
Do you think people are picking up a book called Hiroshima
No.
as a hey, this will perk me up?
No, but I guess the strength of it is that it illuminates... it's just kind of something that we know. We know that this happened. It's kind of in our minds as something that happens.
Right.
And we know the aftermaths and we know the lead up. Hopefully we know those things. But what this book does is it just kind of strips all that away and just kind of highlights a few people who experienced it and what happened before the actual event and then just a little bit after. And there is an updated version of this where he goes back 40 years later and finds some of the original people that he interviewed and
snap.
So I haven't read that. I've only read the original, but again, a very powerful book, a book that makes you feel sad to your core, but it's definitely worth reading. So that's that. Now I've marked all these on the library's Goodreads page, which you can find under David A. Howe Public Library on Goodreads. That has some of our other things.
David A. Howe's been dead for 30 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Is it?
No, it's way longer than that.
Okay.
But you'll be able to find all those here, and we'll link to that on the Twitter page,
That
which
doesn't make it less
is at
spooky.
All the Book Show on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook at David A. Howe Public Library, and please
Yes.
rate and share on iTunes
Yeah.
or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
what a topic!
Yeah.
All these
You're all
upsetting,
sad.
depressing
Nick has
books.
tears in his eyes, but kind of a hopeful look. Like
Yes.
tomorrow might be better.
Yes, thank you.
It will all work out in the end, he says, in that stoic face.
Just this face,
Yeah.
you're getting all of that
yeah.
from it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little library news.
Okay.
Got anything exciting coming up? Tell us a little bit about the
teen
superhero party.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead and tell the teen photo show first.
Well, which is it?
Whichever one you like.
All right. The teen photo show already happened. So
You sure did.
that
So-
happened.
So that's more library history.
That was May 1st, but we had lots of kids come, and we gave lots of different awards, and we had live music from Alex Cole,
Yeah.
and Brian Oglesby was there as
Our largest amount of entries ever this year, 111.
yeah, 111, baby.
Yeah.
You don't put a hat, you put another one,
Yeah.
and then you put the hash through it.
I see.
So
Okay.
in 2 more years, hash right through
Hash.
that. Yeah,
Yep.
we only take 1 extra a year.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
no, that wouldn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense at all, but I was going to let you have it.
Huh? Don't know what I'm talking about. No, I've lost my train of thought. I've got
You were
these-
going to tell us
these
about the
stupid Roman
superhero
numerals.
party.
Oh yeah, it's not Roman numerals either. What do you call those?
Just hash marks.
Darn it. The superhero party is this Saturday,
May 12th.
May 12th for children.
Yep.
Up to 8 is the jam.
Recommended
But it
area.
is sign-ups. We're gonna have a superhero party. There'll be activities and games. There's a giant phone booth to transform into. They'll try finding a phone booth in New York City.
Am I right?
We have invitations for those, and then we're also showing the Lego movie The Flash.
Yeah. There's so many colons in it.
Yeah.
It's like Lego colon DC superheroes colon
Yeah.
The Flash.
Yeah, everybody needs to make sure who's owning what in that.
Yeah.
Lego owns Lego.
Yep.
DC owns The Flash, and The Flash owns
Yeah.
himself.
So this is brand new. This just came out on.
Yeah.
It was a direct to video.
Yeah, I don't even think it's based on a game like the Lego Batman stuff is.
It's just its own standalone
So
thing.
stop.
So
that your foot?
good reviews so far.
Yeah.
Our concert coming up May 17th is Arco Iris, a new group. Never been here before. Latin and Brazilian music. So
Nice.
we're very excited to have them. That's set for May 17th.
Fun.
Book clubs are currently reading Glass Castle, as I mentioned, by Jeanette
Mm-hmm.
Walls, and 9 Lives by Wendy Corsi Staub.
Ooh.
Wendy is coming here herself as the final event in our summer reading program, so she'll be here August 2nd.
Nice.
So you can come get your book signed then. Prior to that, on June 2nd, so a little less than a month away now, we have best-selling author Alex Berenson, author of the John Wells series. He's going to
Snap.
be here. It's an afternoon, 2 o'clock. He's going to be signing copies of whatever you want, really, but his most recent book is The Deceivers, which is in our new book section right now, though it's probably checked out. But we have all of his work, so stop in, check it out. No fees or anything involved. Just come.
Right.
We'll do a Q&A. We're going to interview him for the podcast, so you'll be able to hear a little bit of it then. And then you can get your book signed. So I hope you'll join us for that. Tell
if
your
he-
friends.
What if he said he's coming, but then he doesn't, and he just sends you a letter that says you have been deceived?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I should see that coming. I
Yeah.
should have.
Yeah.
I should have. I realize that now.
He's just so trusting.
My ignorance.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it for episode 142. Anything else you want to share with the good people? Why do I give you that option?
What?
Never mind. All right. We're going to close up shop. We'll see you next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Germs. Try that.
Guy, is it gals?
Yeah.
Ladies and germs? Ladies and germs.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week, ladies and germs.
No, don't do that.
You don't like it?
All right,
Okay.
that's bad.